Welcome to this week's Tech Tuesday. Lauren Groff, Groff NetWorks, and what we've been talking about is what are the metrics for a world-class IT department? How can you build your IT department or outsourced team into a world-class powerhouse? So the first thing that we talked about is what's the first and foremost metric to know if it's doing well? 1 hour per person per month of reactive time spent in the organization is high. And if you're technology dependent, that's going to be a problem. This week's metric that we're going to talk about is what is the investment? How much should I be spending? Am I spending too much, too little? What do I need to budget? I realize that we're underspending. How do we grow what we need to spend to get to where we need to? So typically I find is an organization that is investing, is highly technology dependent, and they're investing about $100 per person per month or less, there's gonna be issues. It's very hard to avoid that at all costs. So a 30-user organization, a typical organization that we're talking about here for small businesses, for example, they're gonna have a spend of about $3,000 or less if they're not spending or investing that much on their routine. We're talking throwing the antivirus backup, labor, whether if it's an employee, take the labor that they spend on IT, not including the projects like the moves and the new server setups, the cloud migrations. Don't include that labor, but all the rest of the labor plus benefits plus overhead divided out for that individual. We're looking at what is that investment, and obviously if it's a time and materials sort of piece, you want to make sure that you divide, take the last 12 months, divide by 12, that gives you a number. Take out the hardware. The only licensing you want to include is backup, antivirus, anti-spam, those sorts of things. Don't include the line of business application. So, like the QuickBooks and the support for that, the amount that you spend on QuickBooks, but the time that you spend on it, yes, include that sort of stuff. 125 to 150 is about where it's going to land for a high-performing company. Over that, there's got to be more things included, or you're just overspending, or you have an internal resource and you're okay investing more to have that control and to have that person in the seat right down the hall. We'll talk about why that's not always the best or the most necessary piece or the most valued piece, but again, we're talking about last week was how much time per person per month is spent, and then this week is how much is invested per user per month. Lauren Groff, Groff NetWorks, Tech Tuesday.